Hello and welcome to another video. This is Stephen Richardson, Love and Power, coming to you with all your solutions for FiveM and other games. Today we're going to be talking about, actually this was requested by a friend of mine last week, and I'm just now getting around to doing it, so apologies to him. But let's get started. So he wanted to know exactly how you go about setting up a FiveM server. It's actually fairly simple once you kind of get used to doing it, like everything else in life, I guess. It can be a little confusing at first, and especially if you're not very comfortable working with like different files and that sort of thing. But anyway, let's get started. So you need a first couple of prerequisites. First off, I always suggest to kind of go by the documentation FiveM has in place. So we're going to type into Google something like setting up FiveM server, and right here, as you can see, FiveM actually does a very good job, especially on Windows machines, because I'm going to actually be teaching mainly how to set up as if it was a Windows VPS. That way, if you, like, let's say you didn't like the pricing of Zap hosting or whatever your issue might be, you can instead host it via a virtual private machine on Windows. And it's actually quite simple. It may take, like I said, it may take the first time, it can be a little hard, but it becomes fairly easy. So, couple prerequisites. First off, you don't really need Git. I don't really use it myself personally. You can, but it's not needed. I really wouldn't worry about it. Visual C redistributable, you will need that, so make sure you download it. So after you download that, if you don't have it already, you will go into the next section. So installation. So let me kind of break this down for you. So first off, you have to make a folder. All right, you have to make a folder, and then you have to add an artifact. And then you have to add your resource folder. For anybody who's used Zappos in the past, that's what server-data is. Now, on Zap hosting, you have to keep the folder as labeled as server-data. But if you're hosting your own server, either locally for your own fun, testing, development, whatever, or if you're actually doing it more so for for VPS, you don't have to actually have the folder called server-data. It can just say resources in it. So I'm going to show you that in a minute. After you've made these two folders and combined them into one folder, what you're going to have to do is to add your server config, and they do an excellent job. They have a server config right here and all that. And then after you do that, you will need then to go to keymaster.fivem. And in keymaster.fivem, I'm not going to actually share that part because I have keys that are either active or inactive, and I don't want to share those. But you're going to go to keymaster, you're going to log into keymaster, and then you're going to then register a new key. You can make as many keys as you want for the free. And the key will then be added to the very end where it says change me right here. You want to just add that. Really simple, really easy. And as long as you follow the directions here, again, it can be kind of hard to really mess up. So, after you do that, then what you need to do is to get also a web API key for Steam. And the easiest way to do that is to just, go to Google and type in Steam web API key. And it takes you directly, that very first link, it takes you to where you basically log into Steam, and it's going to ask you a couple of questions, and it will then give you API key. Again, I'm not going to do that part. I'm not going to show you my API key, but that's where you would get the API key, and then you're going to come back to your server config, and you're going to add it to your key. All right. So I'm going to show you the basics, and we're going to go from there. All right. So let's get started. So first off, if you haven't already, like I said, download that. Now, you have to install a folder. It doesn't really matter what the folder is called, but for the sake of this video, let me make one here. FX server. Alright, so as you can see, I have a server folder here called FX server. Alright, so now let's go to the artifacts, and let's go also download the server data. And hopefully this won't take too long for me to download while recording, but we'll find out. And I normally just download everything to this, and just in case you don't have the program, I do use WinRAR to unzip and unRAR my files to unpackage them. 7-zip is another good alternative, but these are just zip files. These are compressed zip files, so all you really gotta do is, if you have a Windows 10 machine, is right click and go to extract all. And I'm going to download this as well in FX server. And as you can see, it's downloaded both files. Now, what I'm also going to do, or I'm also going to link you to a, there is an editor for, well, a syntax code editor called Sublime Text. Very, very good editor. I would suggest it. It has a darker theme, and it makes life a lot easier. Kind of give an example of what I mean. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Sublime. Close that. Yeah, close tabs. Alright, so, let me find it here. Here we are. So you see, it's a very dark theme, but it makes everything darker color. So I do suggest downloading this. Again, it's called Sublime Text. If you just type into Google download Sublime Text, you come right to it. Alright, so let's go back to our folder now. We're going to go to, first, this is your artifact. Your artifact is like your FiveM's core files, if you will. You need these files for your server to even be able to work in the first place. So we're going to just extract this to the main folder. And as you can see, it's going to give you a citizen folder, and you're going to have some files right here in your main folder. Right, perfect, excellent. So now you can just delete the server package server file folder, because you don't need that now. And next, all you have is your resource folder. So we're going to now extract this. And as you can see generally, as I was saying, let me kind of fix this up here. Normally on Zap hosting, your folder would look like this, where you would see server-data, but you don't need that. You really and truly don't. And I kind of hate how they do that, but whatever. So all we're going to do is I'm going to transfer resources to the main folder. I guess it's just my own little thing. Alright, so now what I also suggest is that you have right, I was going to show you how you add the server config. So this is where I can understand some people may not be used to doing. So it can be kind of confusing sometimes. So it says you need to get a server config file. So here is the basic server config file they give you. We're going to copy this into the editor, like so. And we're going to tell it to save as. And we're going to tell it to save as a, we're going to tell it to name as server.cfg. And I cannot remember it in a moment. if this saves CFG, so I don't think it does. But what should happen is it should recognize the extension. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm about to save to the wrong folder here. There we go, server folder, server config. And so now if we go back to our server config folder, you will see that we have indeed a CFG. Now, because if you go to properties, you see it says CFG.CFG. So you know you saved it right. Now, after it's opened up, let me explain a couple of things. So you now have your main basic format for your server. Now we have to actually get the server set up for actually hosting. So there's two main components, all right? You have to first get these two things right here. The TCP and UDP, these are your ports, right? So let me explain ports. What is a port? A port is like think about it as like a hole in a wall. So you're going to be punching basically holes in your firewall to allow access for inbound and outbound rules. So firewall, and we're just going to go over here to, and I may already have one set up. I don't actually remember on this machine, but let's say here inbound. I have several. What do you want? All right, so new role. Let's say we're going to use the port. It could be any port. It doesn't really matter. It needs to be something though that's kind of long, like 5 numbers. That way, it's different, and you know it's not going to like conflict with some other, game server or important port numbers, something like that. So we're going to use. I'd like you something like 45.45.5. So 45.45.5 is going to be our port, right? Make sure you do TCP, allow the connection, and then we're going to do FiveM U2 test. And now we're going to do the same thing again. Port UDP 45.45.5. Allow FiveM U2 test. Alright, boom. So you have that. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go over here to outbound roles, as I did. Click on outbound roles, click on new role. Now on this one, you only need TCP. You can do UDP, but you really only need TCP as far as at least I personally have been told, have been instructed my own self. So 45.45.5. Make sure you allow the connection. FiveM U2 test. And boom, there you go. So now you've punched holes in your firewall. But now what does it essentially mean? Well, what it means is that you're essentially giving access to this, like I said, this was a VPS. You're essentially giving access to a specific port to be used by your VPS for either others to connect or for yourself to connect. I mean, for things to connect either inbound or outbound on a VPS. So do keep that in mind whenever you do punch holes in. Now on a VPS, you don't have to port forward. Punching holes in your firewall, as I call it, or porting via the firewall, that is your port forwarding. Now on a local machine like I'm on right now, you would have to go through the whole entire process of, if you wanted to, like let's say, host a server itself, not locally, but host it for others to play on from your actual home computer, you have to port forward the actual router. And I'm not going to show how to do that. You're going to have to figure that out yourself. There are plenty of YouTube videos out there, so good luck to you, sir, on that. But as I was saying though, right, so back to this now. So now we need to change just this port number. So 45, 45, 5, 45, 45, 5. Boom. You have your ports done. So after you now make sure you also change license keys I showed you earlier in the keymaster. Once you get keymaster key, make sure you copy and paste it to here. And you make sure you get your Steam Web API key and make sure you put it in between those parentheses. That's very important. Not outside of it. Don't delete the parentheses. Make sure it's in between those parentheses right there. And after you've done that, in theory, you should be able to start your server via the command prompt. Now, I'm going to take it a step further though, because I know a lot of people have issues actually running a server where basically the issue becomes that they cannot what I want to say here. The issue becomes a lot of times they don't know how to actually go work through the command prompt. They don't have any experience for that. So a lot of people now actually use server batch file to kind of cheat the system, if you will. And basically what it says is it interacts with the command prompt for you. Or it makes the command prompt open up and it starts everything for you. So as you can see here, you have run cmd and it's going to execute the server config at this specific CD location. So in this case, you would want to change this to say the name of your folder, which I believe mine was FX server, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was. So I'm just gonna kind of set it real fast, and I'm gonna move this, or make a copy, I should say, to over to this. Now I haven't actually changed any of my keys, so this won't work for me. All right. No, I didn't think about making a key for the video, but in theory, you have everything you need right now to have your very basic, nothing added server up and running right now. So let me show you one more thing before the end of this. So now you may be asking, but what if I want to, I don't know, say add a script to the server? Well, it's quite simple. So I'm just going to go to the FiveM forums here. FiveM releases. I'm just going to go to a random topic. And we're going to download one. I'm going to show you the basics on adding it to your server. Because after you do it once, it becomes fairly easy to do it again. Right? Right. Okay, so let's try to get something here. Something a little fun. Diamond Casino Blackjack, ESX. Do note if you do get signed up to ESX, you have to install the full ESX framework. Perhaps that's something I can kind of show in a different video at another time after I've set up an actual entire server for a YouTube video. This was more really meant to be more of just a basic drag and drop kind of deal to kind of show you the basics. With Hong Kong edition, San Andreas Highway Patrol Pack 90 OS. I've already showed you how to add guards, so I don't really want to do that. Let's see, standalone, boy mount. Where are the scripts? Here we go. This works fine. Realistic handler. Alright, so you can see right here. So you want to go to download zip. And for now, we're going to just save it into your resource folder. Alright, so resources. So what we're going to do is we're going to just extract this here. And as you can see, all you need is this folder right here. So we're going to kind of Wait, did he zip an extra? Yes, he did. I don't know why he did that. But anyway, alright. So I'm going to delete that. And what we're going to do is we're going to drag this folder right here to your resource folder because we don't need this. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't need this. This was just the actual holder folder, if you will. And let's delete that. So this is the name of your realistic handling. You can change this to be whatever you want. It does not matter what. So we're just going to call this as U2 test 1. Right, see there, boom, perfect. Alright, so U2 test 1. Alright. So, as you can see, you have your resource and you have your handling. So what does this give you? What it does for you is it gives you an actual, your resource file is basically the file that will have any of your other files in it that would have be like metas, you know, it could be dat files, it could be basically, essentially anything you can put in a GTA folder you can put in here. And yeah, so make sure I save that. I can't remember if I did or not. Alright, so I'm going to close that. Alright, so, and then you have your handling file. So, let's look at this real fast. Just make sure. Everything looks pretty basic. So, he's took basically a bunch of the GTA vanilla vehicles and have changed everything in it. Alright, that's nice to know. Alright, awesome. So, what we're going to do now is, now that we've renamed this, all you gotta do is after you added the actual folder to your resources, you're going to go back over here to server config, open with Sublime, and you want to do start YT then save. And what this does, this is quite simple. Next time you start your server, with your server starter or via command prompt, however you want to do it, next time you start it, it will be loaded up with your resource folder. And that's it. I would like to thank everybody for watching the video. If you have any other ideas for videos on what I should make, if you have any questions, would like to know how something's done, do let me know. I'm always available, always trying to just help out the community, trying to make this a better place. This is Stephen Richardson, Love and Power, signing out. Have a wonderful rest of your day.